And as we just heard, this is not the end of the issue. So what happens now?
What legal options may be left for defenders of traditional marriage? For that, we welcome attorney AnneElise Getz. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me on tonight.
Let me go back to Proposition 8, because this, for California, this is really where it's all at. I mean, what impact is this ruling, since the court kicked it back to the Ninth Circuit Court, is it going to have on other propositions down the road and other measures? Is it now up to the courts to decide the law in California?
I think when you have a court system come out and say something is unconstitutional, that's always sort of been the way our checks and balances run, that if we pass a piece of legislation in this state or in the country, you have the justice system come in and step in if they think that there is an unconstitutional aspect to that statute. And that's what we saw in the district court level here. We saw the district court say that Prop 8 was unconstitutional. And then they put a stay on that decision. They didn't allow the same-sex couples to immediately start getting married. The Ninth Circuit put a stay on that decision until all the appeals were completed. We've now reached that point. We went to the Ninth Circuit and then the Supreme Court, so we can't go any further. And now we're going to wait to see if once that stay is lifted.
People who are unhappy with today's decision say that the 7 million Californians who voted for Prop 8 got cheated because both governors, Governor Schwarzenegger, Governor Brown, and the Attorney Generals did not defend it in federal court.
That is correct. They did not defend it, which is why that's where we are today. The case was kicked out over standing because we didn't have the government come in and defend it. Now, those people that are upset with what happened today, those supporters of Prop 8, so opposed to same-sex marriage, they have a couple of options. First of all, there's a question as to the breadth of or the scope of the district court opinions. The district court opinion saying Prop 8 is unconstitutional. Right now, you're hearing people say, does that apply just to the two individuals involved, the two couples, or just to the two counties involved, Los Angeles and then a county up in San Francisco as well? And you're going to see those supporters of Prop 8 challenge the ruling today on that basis.
But I'm still curious, if the governor, the state attorney general, decide not to legally uphold a proposition that is passed by voters, what does that say for all propositions that are on the ballot that are approved in California in the future?
This can happen in the state and the federal level. I mean, in theory, you're going to have a situation where if you pass something, you also have the support that's going to be enforcing it. But in this case, both the same thing occurred actually in the federal level with DOMA, where you had the federal government, the Obama administration saying, I'm not going to enforce that. Well, the same thing happened here in California, and they just said, I'm not going to enforce it.
Well, I think most would agree that today's ruling does kind of parallel some societal changes in a feeling about the issue as well, as polls show. All right, well, very well. Thank you so much for your thoughts tonight.
Thanks for having me on.